Good morning, Berlin seniors. I have good news. We're 1 week away from spring. I'm so happy for that. We so deserve it. Okay, so let's get comfy in our chairs. And then sit up nice and tall, lifting through the crown of your head. And then ease into your seated position. Let your belly be soft. And I'm going to turn my palms up to the ceiling and close my eyes. We're just taking a moment here to acknowledge this kind of transition of mind and body, getting ready for our practice. And when you're ready, gently open your eyes. We'll place our hands in front of our heart. A little bow for namaste. Okay, so I'm going to move to the front of my chair. And just start to wake up with some breath. Take your shoulders up, down, and back. And we'll breathe out and up. Again, like that, out and up. And last one, use your breath. Let's give those hands a shake. And we'll warm them up. Don't forget the top. And in between your fingers and your thumbs. And then we'll bring our hands into some fists. And then we'll open them nice and wide, lots of space between. We'll do an open close, open close. You can add your toes too. And then draw your fingers into fists and we'll go round and round. And then we'll stop and move in the opposite direction. Let's bring our hands together. We'll interlace our fingers, press our palms forward, and inhale the arms all the way up and overhead. So if you have a little bend, that's okay too. We're just going to move from side to side. Using your breath to come to center. And side to side. And release your fingers and your arms, and we'll roll the shoulders. Nice big circles. And then we'll take those circles and bring them forward. And then we'll take those shoulders and bring them up to your ears, hang your arms, and then let it go. Another one like that, all the way up to your ears and squeeze and hold, and then let it go. And last one. Beautiful. Let's bring the arms out to the side and we'll press through the heels of your hands so that your fingers are pointing up, and then we'll draw them down and under. Feel that stretch in your wrists, back to fingers up and down and under. And last one. And we'll give those hands a shake. Once again, take your arms out to the side and press through the heels of your hands. And then we're going to push to one side Keep your sit bones grounded, and then to the other. Pressing one side and the other. Pull your belly in, keep your sit bones grounded, and back to center. Release those arms, we'll give them a shake. I'm going to reach to the back of my chair and open my chest. And then release the effort. Reaching to the back of your chair, squeeze shoulder blades together. Open your chest. And release the effort. And one last time. Very nice. Let's do a twist. I'm going to move to the side of my chair just to kind of change it up a bit. Sitting nice and straight and tall, I'm going to take my torso and turn it towards the back of my chair. I'm going to show you I have my hands on 10 and 2. My head and my neck are easy. And then release the effort, and we'll go to the other side. Sitting up nice and straight and tall, and then hands towards the back of your chair. You can see my hands are at 10 and 2. And my neck is easy. And coming forward, my ankles under my knees. I'm at the edge of my chair. Let's walk the feet nice and wide. And then we'll walk them together again. This is for our ankles, walking them wide and back together again, and then close together. Let's do it one more time. And last one, we'll walk them open and hold the underside of your chair or your hands on your thighs. We're just going to take turns dropping the knees. And if you're feeling like it's too much for you, you can always walk your feet a little closer. Just warming up those hips. And lifting knees and walking the feet together. Let's take one knee into your chest, give it a squeeze. And the other knee into your chest and give it a squeeze. And let's stretch the feet out in front. Come up onto the heels, a little bump in the knee, and we'll gently walk as you exhale your hands down towards your ankles, nice and slow and gentle. And then when you're ready, walking your hands up and back. Let's take one knee into your chest and give it a little squeeze. The other knee into your chest and give it a little squeeze. And stretch your legs forward, little bump in the knee. Using your exhale, we'll release fingers and hands down. And walk them back up again. Last one. One knee into your chest, give it a little squeeze. Other knee into your chest, give it a little squeeze. And stretch those legs long. And on an exhale, we'll reach. And walk the hands up and back. Okay. Let's take the arms out to the side. We'll bend at the elbow and then draw them together. Palms of your hands together. If you can, lift those elbows up at shoulder height, and we'll open and close. Use the inhale to open your arms wide and the exhale to close. And release the elbows down, release the hands. We'll take them out to the side, palms forward. Give yourself a nice big hug. You can even do a little twist from side to side. And take notice of what elbow is on top, what arm is on top. We're going to switch it up. And we'll do a little twist from side to side. And releasing the arms, we'll give them a little shake. Before we stand up, let's spend a few moments on our feet and our toes. Let's spread your toes nice and wide. I think you can see mine. And then grab the floor underneath with your toes. It's not often that we spend time in the little places of our bodies, right? Toes. But oh, so important. And then we'll stretch them wide, lots of space in between. And we'll grab a little bit more. And then release the effort. And we'll come up onto the heels, toes, looking to the ceiling. And then we'll come down onto the balls of your feet and then lift the heels up. And then we'll switch, come back to heels, toes up. And then toes down and heels up. And last one. Okay, feet nice and flat on the floor. We'll bring the soles together and let your knees fall wide. See if you can sit up nice and straight and tall and not lose your posture. And then we'll bring the knees together. And we'll take one knee into your chest and then the other knee into your chest. Okay, so let's do a few chair stands. So a chair stand is typically just getting up. I'm on the edge of my chair, but I'm back enough so that my bottom is supported, the back of my thigh is supported, and I'm not going to lose the chair when I stand up. Okay, so you can put your hands out in front. You can give yourself a nice hug. You can place your hands on your thighs. So you have some options here. You can place them out in front. I think we started with that. I'm going to put my hands on my thighs, and here we go. Use the exhale to lift you up. So nice deep breath in. So we'll count backwards, 9. As you can see, I'm not coming all the way up. I'm staying in this kind of bent pose. That was 3. We're halfway there. Just 3 more after this. 3. Use your breath, 2. And last one. And down and breathe. Nice deep breath into the belly, let it go. Nice deep breath into the belly. Let it go. And one more like that. Okay, let's stand up. I'm going to place my chair in front of me and standing behind my chair, I'm going to come to mountain. Let's take the shoulders up, down, and back. Easy knees, they're not locked backwards. Let's use our breath and take our arms out and up. And stretch up through your fingers, and on your next exhale, we'll bring the arms out and down. Let's do 3 more like that. Here we go. Use your next exhale to bring them down. And last one. Okay, let's use our breath to bring the arms up and exhale to sit in your imaginary chair. Using the inhale to straighten and exhale to release the arms. Let's do 3 more. Last one. Using the back of your chair for a downward dog. And when you're ready, inhaling, lifting your chest and heart back into mountain. Let's do 3 more of those. Exhaling as you walk back into mountain. Inhaling as you walk back into mountain. Let's do 1 more. Using the exhale for downward dog. And inhaling mountain. I'm going to turn forward and leave my chair there just in case I need it. And come back into mountain pose. Let's open our feet nice and wide. And I'm going to take the foot that's closest to my chair and rotate on the heel so that my toes are pointing towards the wall in front of me. And the foot on the other side, I'm going to bring it halfway in. So it's pointing to the corner of the room and not forward. But my torso will face forward. So move around your feet so that you're feeling stable. I'm going to place the hand closest to the chair, right on the chair. And the other arm, I'm going to lift it out to the side and all the way up. And I'm going to lean into this triangle pose. Remember, torso forward. Both legs are straight. Use your inhale to come up and exhale, arms down. Let's do 3 more of those. Using the inhale to lift the arm, exhale into triangle. And last one. Can we hold for a breath? Use your inhale to come up and exhale the arms down. I'm going to point all toes forward and then walk my feet together back into mountain. I'm going to move my chair, but you can just turn around. Standing to the side of my chair, I'm going to open my feet nice and wide and then pivot on my heels so toes are pointing to the wall in front of me. The other foot, the toes are coming halfway in, so not all the way in, but halfway they're pointing to the corner of the room. And of course, my torso is forward. Nice strong legs, engage those quadriceps. So the hand closest to my chair, I'm holding on, and I'm going to inhale this arm up right up next to my ear, but however it looks for you is fine. And then we're going to exhale into the triangle. Let's do 3 more. Lift your chest nice and high. Can we hold this last one? Nice straight legs. Use the inhale to come up and exhale. The arms down, toes all pointing forward, and we'll walk the feet together. Back into mountain pose. Let's turn behind the chair and we'll walk back into downward dog once again. Use an exhale to walk back into downward dog, easy knees. And an inhale to walk back into mountain pose. So in honor of spring, let's do a sun breath. Sun breath uses the seat of the chair for your hands, but you have the option of not using the chair. And that way you would come all the way down into the forward bend, but we're just going to come halfway. Easy knees, we're going to breathe out to the side and up. And then we'll exhale into forward bend. Inhaling halfway up and exhaling all the way down. This time we'll use the arms out and up. Nice deep breath in. And exhale, namaste. Let's do that 3 more times. Inhaling out and up. And exhaling, forward bend. Inhaling, half forward bend and forward bend. Let's do 1 more. Hold for a breath. Okay, turning to the side, I'm going to open my feet nice and wide. I'm going to move my screen again. So beginning in mountain, I'm going to open my feet nice and wide. Hands on my hips, we're just going to bend one knee and then the other. And walking those feet together. Let's work on a bit of balance. I'm going to put my hands on my hips and come up onto the ball of my right foot. Walk it in to the left, hands together in front of your heart. And we'll inhale all the way up and over. Now hands can be shoulder width apart, just palms facing each other. Or you can bring hands together, point your pointers to the ceiling, and breathe. We can try to go in a little deeper, lifting that foot. Do the best you can. Open your hip. And when you're ready, release. Let's hold for a breath. Beginning with hands on hips, coming up onto the ball of your opposite foot. This is my left, and I'm walking it into the right. Bring your hands in front of your heart. And we'll inhale them right up and over. Pointers point, or palms look at each other. And when you're ready, see if you can slide that foot up the inside. Open your hip. Do the best you can. And release. And we'll hold for a breath. Coming into mountain pose. Feet hip width apart. We'll come into another balance. I like to put my hands on my hips. You could put them out to the side or whatever works. I'm just going to lift up my right knee. This is my right knee. I'm just going to lift it up and dangle my foot over my mat. Do the best you can. And release the feet. And hold for a breath. I like to put hands on my hips. You can put them out to the side, lifting this time, left foot, lifting the knee, dangling the foot over your mat. Notice if one side is easier. It usually is. And then release into the mountain pose, opening your heart. Okay, we're going to come down to the mat in a seated way. So coming into Dandasana, I'm drawing my flesh back away from my sit bone so that I can sit up nice and straight and tall. Pressing through the heels of your feet. We're just going to gently move, kind of hinging your hips. If you need to put a little bend in the knee, that's quite all right. And we'll reach to your toes or your ankles or your shins. And then we'll stretch those legs long, sitting up nice and tall. Shoulders up, back, and down. I'm going to take the sole of my right foot and just flatten it to the inside of the left thigh. I'm going to take a hand on either side of the knee, my gaze at the toes. And then we'll ease up and press away. So the sole of my left foot into the thigh of my right. So if this is too much of a squeeze here, especially if you have osteoporosis or hip issues, you can always bring the sole closer to the ankle. So be mindful about how you move, so important. Hand on either side of the knee. My gaze is at the toes. Easing up, drawing the knee in, and then stretching it out and away. For this next one, I'm going to move forward. So beginning in Dandasana, let's just flap the feet and toes forward. And then put some space between your heels and we'll make them like rubber. Okay, let's bring the soles of your feet together. The idea is to draw them in towards your groin, but that can also place some stress on your hips. So make sure it all feels good. It feels like it's stretching and doing some good. No pain, never acceptable. And you can hold on to your toes and your ankles. Let's add a little flap here. And then we'll draw those knees together and stretch them forward. Again, some space between your heels and we'll make them like rubber. Okay. Let's open the feet nice and wide. Doing the best that you can. You might have to move around some flesh to feel those sit bones. I'm going to take my hands out in front. We never want to see this kind of a rounding. So even if you're just here, but you're maintaining your posture. Yeah, so important. And then we'll direct the torso over one thigh. I have my hands on either side. And I'm just coming a bit forward to get more of a stretch underneath. My gaze is at my toes. We're not lifting the sit bone, it's still grounded. So see if you can play with that. And then we'll come up and back to the center. Remember, we never want this in a nice tall spine. And then torso over the opposite thigh. We're looking just to come a little bit forward so we get a stretch. Posture is so important. And then we'll ease up and back, soles of the feet together. And then we'll ease them back into Cobra Pose. Those knees together, stretch them out in front and we'll give them a little shake. Okay, turning to the side, we're going to come all the way down onto our belly. So take your time. I'm going to start in what's called the Sphinx pose. So up on your elbows. Sometimes when you're in the pose, it's a little difficult to kind of gauge where your joints are in space. So here, we want the elbows directly under the shoulders, so not too far back or too far forward, or even too far wide for that matter. I'm spreading my fingers wide, and everything below my hips is just kind of relaxing. If you bring your chin down just a bit, it'll open the back of your neck rather than lifting the chin and crushing down. You never want to, always want to keep those vertebrae nice and spaced. So in this pose, it's important just to breathe into your belly. And we'll take those elbows out to the side. We'll stack our hands and rest your forehead down. So we're just going to lift and stretch. This is my right leg, and I'm lifting just inches and pointing and stretching. And then we'll go to the other side, lifting just inches, not real high. We're thinking about stretching long. Imagine that you're just trying to touch the wall behind you. You just can't quite get there. We'll go back to the first side and stretch and open. Let's do one more on each side. Let's bend both knees and press your heels to the ceiling, and we'll gently rock from side to side. And bring them up and release them down. We're going to get ready and do a Cobra Pose, which is hands and fingers right under your shoulders here. So they're not too far forward or too far back. We're supporting our torso here, fingers wide. Nice long neck. Feet are going to stay on the mat for this one. We're going to inhale, lift the back of the head. See if you can lift from the strength of your back and not from pressing your hands. At the same time, you're reaching down through your toes and stretching your legs. And then release your bottom. See if you're scrunching it tight. See if you can let it go. And then we'll release on one side of your face. And we'll move in again. Lift the back of your head. Stretch down through the legs. Lift from the strength of your back. And release down onto the other side. And once more, here we go. And release. This time, stretch your arms alongside of your body. You bring your hands to press down or up. And this time, on an exhale, we're going to lift the back of the head and press your palms to the ceiling. This is a locust pose. Let's bring your fingers under your shoulders again, and we'll press up into table pose. Let's do a little cat and cow here. So inhaling, heart forward into cow. Exhaling, rounding through your spine into cat. So using your breath, cow and cat. Let's do a couple more rounds of the cat and cow. And the next time you press back into cat, we'll press back into child's pose. So there's always an option to go wide in your child's pose. Coming down onto your elbows. It's a really nice way to kind of investigate your hips. And when you're ready, we'll gently walk back. Let's bring those knees together and we'll move back into table pose. Let's stretch out one leg. This is my right leg. I'm up on the ball of my foot. I'm going to lift the foot up at hip height and then point the toe. Let's bring it in and then reach it away. Bring it in and draw your head down towards. And one last one. And then we'll release that side. I'm moving into the left side. Stretching the left leg away. And then point the toes and bring it in. And last one. Let's press back into child's pose again. And when you're ready, walking back into the rock pose or the high kneel. Let's come back into table. And we'll finish our prone poses with a downward dog. So rolling toes under, lifting heart forward. We'll exhale and release, lift the knees. I was going to say release the knees. And inhaling, knees down. And child's pose. Gently walking back into, this is rock pose or the high kneel. So from here, let's come all the way down onto our backs. Take your time, move mindfully. We've been up, we've been down, we've been all around. I'm bringing my soles of my feet to the mat. And then we'll come all the way down. And take a breath. We'll take one knee into our chest and extend the other leg. And then switch it up, opposite knee into your chest. And opposite leg stretches long. And release both feet to the mat, and we'll take knees into your chest. I crossed my ankles, and we'll rock from side to side. And with hands on knees, we'll roll round and round. And of course, we'll change the direction. And release the feet. Notice if your forehead is lower than your chin. See if you can bring that chin down to open up the back of your neck. We're not pressing hard. We're just allowing it to open and then releasing. We want good form here. Let's flatten out the shoulders in the back. And see if you can open the back of your neck just a bit more. We're also going to walk the heels back towards your toes. And we're going to use our feet and the breath to lift the hips. So starting with the breath in, we're going to let the exhale press your hips up. Your gaze is up at the ceiling and pressing your hips forward. And then we'll bring them down. So using your breath on the exhale, pressing up, your gaze is up. And inhaling down. Let's take your knees into your chest again, cross your ankles side to side. Dropping your feet, we'll take one knee into your chest. And then the other. With your feet flat on your mat, I'm taking my right ankle and resting it on my left thigh. This is a through the hole stretch, and this can be a really nice stretch for your hips. So first I'm just going to take my hand and press the knee away, creating more of an opening for your hip. If you want to take it a little further, we'll reach your hands around either side of that left thigh and interlace them behind. And then release that foot. Don't leave it up in the air, just let it hang. Now, if this is happening, see if you can bring your chin down, not pressing on the back of your neck, just allowing a gentle opening. And of course, we can always rock from side to side. And then we'll release the thigh and release the ankle. So we'll move back into our good form here. And then take the left ankle on your right thigh. And to begin, I'm just going to press that hip open, just pressing it away. If you'd like to take it a little further, we're going to use the hole to take your right thigh into your chest and see if you can release your head and neck. So if this is happening, see if you can bring your chin down, but we're not pressing the back of your neck. We're just allowing an opening. And we can rock here. And then we'll release the thigh and release the ankle. Coming back to center, we'll take our knees to our chest and rock from side to side. Releasing your feet to the mat, we'll take one knee into your chest and stretch the opposite leg long. So this is my right knee. I'm going to take my left hand and just gently guide it over and out in front. So see what makes sense for your head and neck. You can always keep it in line with your chest, the safest way. Or you can look up or even to the side. I'm going to keep my chin in line with my chest, the safest option. Feel a good stretch in your hip. And I'm going to take both hands to reach to that knee and roll to my side again. Release your feet to the mat and we'll go to the other side. So good form here. Sit bones or sacrum, grounded. We'll open the shoulder blades a bit. And of course, bringing our chin down to open the back of the neck. Okay, so other knee, this is my left knee into my chest, stretch right leg long. Opposite hand to guide that knee all the way over. Keeping your chin in line with your chest, safest option. And reaching to your knees, we'll roll onto our backs. And that was called a cat stretch. I have never seen a cat do that. I'm not really sure why it's a cat stretch, but it is a great stretch, and that's all that matters, I guess. So feet to your mat, and let's stretch them long. I've got my hands on my belly, and good form here. I'm going to roll my shoulder blades to make them nice and flat behind me, but then I'm going to release the effort so I'm not stiff in my chest, but supported. You want to make sure your hips are relaxed and your sacrum is grounded. A good way to do that is to lift them up and kind of tuck them down and under. And then nice straight legs. I'm going to roll open the palms to the ceiling and gently rock your head from side to side, or just a bit. We're just investigating. I'm going to bend my elbows, take my hands to my belly, and do some nice belly breathing. Close your eyes. Take your gaze and your attention inside. As you gently release your arms and legs, chest and belly, hands and feet. And then when you're ready, we'll roll through wrists and ankles, bend knees and elbows. Go to one side, make a pillow with your hands. And then when you're ready to come back to the real world. Help yourself come up and to seated. Sitting up nice and straight and tall. Feel your sit bones. And of course, you can always sit in a chair. Lifting up to the crown of your head. We'll bring our hands into Namaste. Breathe into the space under your thumbs. And when you're ready, inhaling your Namaste hands to your forehead, connecting your mind and your body. And we'll add a little Namaste bow. Namaste. Enjoy your Saturday and hope to come back next time.